when did you switch from regular marketing to your brand of marketing, unmarketing?
I never really gone along with with regular marketing from kind of from the get go. So I think about probably about 19, 20 years old, I started to really realize that everything people were trying to tell me to do in business was kind of the exact opposite of what I felt was the right thing to do. And from very early on in kind of my business career, I started saying, why do we try to market the way that we hate to be marketed to? There's got to be a different way or a better way. So I started it right out of the gate when I was probably 19, managing bands in Toronto. And I've kind of been doing it ever since. So I was kind of unmarketing before I even called it unmarketing. I realized that relationships and getting to know people was much more effective than trying to blast people with sales pitches.
So I kind of thought that it was a result of you reading a few books or something, but that's just from your personal convictions that you developed this new approach?
Yeah, I think it's an accumulation of everything. I think there was certainly a pivotal book that I read 10 years ago from Seth Godin called Permission Marketing. And that really cemented the thought that it's okay for me to think this way. Because I think we all need permission one way or another that it's okay to not to be like other people or like everybody else. And when I read that, everything, it wasn't just one event. There was an art show in my town, and all the artists were just sitting back and complaining that nobody was buying their art. They were kind of doing it all wrong. So it was an accumulation of a bunch of things. But it was more a mindset, really. That's what it is. My marketing's a mindset to say, I'm out here to build relationships and build a platform rather than just be kind of.
Okay, so you talked about you have a book coming out, the unmarketing book. Is that going to be like a how-to book, or is it going to just like tell your story, like a autobiography type of thing?
The book is kind of both my opinion on who's doing it right and wrong in marketing and how you can do it. So it's certainly not. I use some of my own experiences to illustrate the points, but the book is for people to learn how to stop marketing and start engaging with their with their marketplace. And so it certainly isn't a biography by any means, but it's more of here's some examples. It goes like 3 steps. Every section's kind of like, here's the theory, here's an example of that, and here's how you apply it. So it's more of a little manual to help people kind of start that in their business.
So it's more like a how-to. You speak a lot of the concept of social currency. Do you use other methods to reach your clients besides engaging them in meaningful ways?
Well, I think that that's really kind of the backbone of everything is the engagement side of things. Now, that doesn't mean I don't sell. It doesn't mean I don't sell things to them. It's just that have to do it all in moderation, where you want to have a kind of a skewed ratio of the amount you give to the amount you take. And there's 2 ways to be viewed by your marketplace: as either a business that sells stuff, or an authority in the subject that you can learn from and also buy stuff from. And you've got to pick which way you want to go. And being just a straight selling business, well, I don't need to talk to you or engage with you until I need to buy your product. And I may never think I need it. But if I angle myself as an expert in the field or as an authority in a subject, people can always learn from that. And there's always a reason for them to engage with me and for me to engage with them. So it's really kind of which angle do you want to go. And to be honest with you, the sales end of it, if you want to be a straight sales, it can work. It's just a lot harder, and a lot more people can't do it because it's very stressful and very kind of in-your-face type of stuff. So I'd rather people go that authentic route and want people to learn from them, and then eventually they do buy.
That's good. So do you use traditional ways for getting traffic to your page, like pay-per-click or banner ads, or is it primarily through your social networks now?
Yeah, for me it's all, I don't use any kind of the classical way to get traffic. My entire traffic to my site, which is also my blog, it's kind of the same thing, all through platform I built on social media sites, and through then, which also means I built a newsletter of people who signed up at my blog. So I built a platform through my channels. So I don't use the old school methods of it. You know, I just bring the organic traffic to it. So I'd rather people come to my site as a trusted referral to the site. So either they know me because they follow me on Twitter and they come read my blog, so they already know me kind of, where there's a certain style and personality to it, or somebody refers them to say, go read this, and they've got a trusted referral, versus kind of a cold one where somebody would find it through an AdWords or a banner. It's kind of a different trust setup with somebody that doesn't even know you and wasn't sent by a trusted referral. So I'd rather have that kind of the organic traffic coming to me than trying to load it up with bot traffic.
Do you post your articles, like the ones you post on your blog, on any other websites besides just your central website? Do you use article marketing at all?
There's a couple of other blogs that I've asked to, kind of repost my stuff. I don't have any problem. I don't have a problem with anybody reposting mine with the proper credit. I don't go out and I don't push it to article marketing sites. I don't put it to article kind of farm sites where nothing wrong with that. I just don't do article marketing because I try to keep the traffic towards my site, and the efforts I do want to lead them back to there. It's just, I want the post to be kind of original on my site and not seen everywhere. And I like the traffic. Now, I understand article marketing can work, and it can help with search engines and stuff, but if we're going to help the search engines out and get my content out there, I'd rather try to get my site as being the one that ranks than anything else.
Okay, that's good. So I know that you probably have a lot of people reposting your articles on their blogs because they're just really well written.
Thank you, I try.
Yeah, always a little bit of sarcasm in there, and yeah, it's just straightforward. How have you separated your business contacts from your personal contacts? I know that you're saying, I'm not going to be using Facebook anymore to just add people. Did you add a fan page, or how did you go about doing that? You're just not using Facebook at all?
Yeah, I originally was on Facebook like everybody else, years ago, and it kind of kept me in touch with people I already knew. And I don't use Facebook a lot for any kind of business stuff. I've recently, since I've kind of gained a lot of momentum, especially on Twitter, people by default just kind of start adding me on Facebook. And, I like to, Facebook is a place where you talk to people you already know. And Twitter is a great place to talk to people you know and meet new people. I have a fan page on there. I have the marketing page on there. I haven't done much with it. I find the fan pages and Facebook itself is a very closed door, and particularly like it for that application. I like it to be a kind of a casual, fun place for me to go and not a business setting.
Okay. Do you have multiple Twitter accounts, like your personal and the business? And have you separated Twitter in that way?
Well, the nice thing for me is unmarketing is me. So my it's really a personality-driven brand.
Okay.
So I don't recommend it for everybody, but unmarketing is Scott, and the ability to, which marketing is like is sarcasm and is that type of attitude because it's my attitude. And for me to separate it would make it very hard to. I've seen people try to do it. It's kind of hard to do separate ones unless one is really, really corporate, like really business, and one is straight personal. It's tough to do it in tandem because it takes so much effort to build one on its own. And I certainly like to focus my efforts in one way. And I understand if somebody runs a very kind of traditional business, but they have a very conflicting personality like mine, it might not work as well. But my brand works really well with my personal, so I don't separate the two.
Okay, that's good too. Does every marketing piece that you create need to engage the customer? Like, I noticed that you said when someone joins your list, it sends them out an automated thing, what business are you in? And you said from right there you begin engaging the customer. and they kind of know there's a person behind the marketing rather than just automated stuff.
Right. Well, I think there's always, for the most part, I try to, every avenue that I have, every time you potentially connect with your marketplace or subscriber or follower or friend, you're having the ability to engage or just dictate. And I think almost every avenue, whether it's a blog within the comment fields or an email newsletter sign up or Twitter or Facebook or even in person, there's always the ability to engage one way or the other.
So you prefer to engage whenever you can, is what you're saying?
I really think there's an opportunity every time you make a point of contact at the point of engagement. I really think you use that to your advantage of somebody who wants to build relationships.
Okay. Yes. Chief Relationship Officer. I remember you coining that term.
Oh, you are. You're the CRO. That's it. If you're not, who is? And that's really matters.
Starting to understand more what that means, because I kind of thought it was a fun philosophy, but I didn't know if you were using it all around in your business. I thought it was one of the things that you taught, and then that you also used other methods.
I don't want to do lip service to it. I don't want to say it's a fun thing to do. You've got to believe it. You've got to. So for me, if somebody comments on my blog or signs up for my newsletter, I've got to walk that talk across the board. Like, engagement isn't a part-time task. It's not something you do as one of your action items. It's got to be your entire mindset, your whole buy-in for your company.
Okay, so this is kind of a different area. You teach about viral video creation. Are there any tools that you recommend for that?
Yep, there's a couple of different things you can do. There's one site that you can use called Animoto, which is ANIMOTO. We'll actually put together the slideshow style of movies that I talk about, and that takes care of that style video. It's really great. You test it out. You can put them together. You can actually do a free account and try a bunch of things on it. When it comes to live video and doing stuff like in person, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And there's a lot of things that can happen that can work well. But the thing is, not everybody's meant to do people video. Like, they're not meant to do live video. It's not very forgiving. Like, it really is revealing. And I'm perfectly blunt with everybody when I talk about it, is that 50% of people don't come off well in video. Just because of, it could be nerves, it could be personality, it could be the setup of how they're filming, but it might hurt your brand. But on the other hand, if it's something that you want to do, something you think you might like to do, then there's no excuse not to do it. So it's one or the other. Like, if you hate to do video, a video makes you sick, I don't want you to be trying to be better at something you hate. It makes no sense. You rather find the stuff that you like to do. If it's writing, or it's just straight audio, or you want to do video, you got to pick the area that you think you want to do, and then you become great at it.
Yeah. Well, with Animoto, I was really thinking about the video squeeze page. Are you able to do that with Animoto as well?
Animoto allows you at the end, the last time I checked, they allow you to place something that's a link somewhere. So there can be a call to action for you. So it's partially within the video. You can have a clickable call to action. But if you want to do the actual squeeze page, like I did on like buildyourfollowing.com, where the squeeze page is beside the video, then you'd have to take the video on Animoto and embed it into a web page and have it squeeze beside the video, which I think is probably better to do.
Okay. So which should I focus on first? Building a newsletter, a following, or a product development? Like asking people
I think for me, I always prefer when people try to build a following before they build their product. Because if you build a following, they can actually help you create your product. Where if you get 1,000 followers or 500 newsletter subscribers, you can go and ask them, if it's not, what do you want to see in a product, or even if it's what kind of method do you want the product delivered. Like, you can do a great survey on, do they like MP3s, do they want a CD mailed to them, do they want an ebook, do they want something printed. They actually will help kind of focus your product for you. So, and also, if you focus on building your following first, you're less tempted to pitch them all the time. So you can just focus
really good. I kind of assumed that you would say product first. So, you have trainings or information that you give out on building your following on buildyourfollowing.com, or what?
Yeah, you'll see it when you go to buildyourfollowing.com. It's actually like a niche site just for speakers, authors, and coaches.
Okay.
And so you'll see the video, and you'll see what I've done there, where you actually just sign up for a free ebook, and it's 120 pages of me interviewing 40 different successful people out there on what they do differently if they could go back and start again. And
yes.
the nice thing about it is you also, when you sign up, watch the process, because when you submit your name, another video will come on there and ask you to confirm your address in your inbox. And then once you confirm, there'll be a third video. So you can actually see the series of videos I use to make it work.
I do remember reading that book, and I'm thinking to myself now, like, I don't remember going there, though. I wonder where I got the book from.
Well, somebody could have probably passed it along to you as well, because it's a PDF, so it's easy to send out.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your time this morning, Mr. Stratten, and hopefully you'll be able to implement some of these things that you've instructed me on.
Anytime. Good. I'm glad. Thanks for asking some good questions. They're great questions.